Rightio. We're on to Turbofuel today because we finished our gas storage yesterday. So the next thing on my checklist is some Turbofuel. So I've got all my recipes here. I went too far. And we're just going to go with just using fuel, not diluted packaged fuel, because I'm going to do that again in the future. I was thinking more isolation than one connecting point to the main grid. This way the coal gens can keep the coal pumping. Yeah, I mean, that is a very smart idea, Gaz. That's definitely, isolation is definitely the best thing you can do. All right. So at 20 hard drives, that's heaps. Sulfur. Okay, so I need 50 packaged fuel. And 15 compacted coal. So we are making compacted coal. Packaged fuel. I've got 14. We're just going to go and steal some from some generators to make it. Compacted coal, I might just whack that in a machine and just manual maul it. Let it manual craft it, feed box it. That's what I want. Because it's going to take me too long to go over to the compacted coal power plant. But while we're packaging this, we can do it at the same time and then we'll be done. We'll just do that, and we'll put a packager. I've got canisters. Package fuel, chuck some canisters. Give that some power. And while that's happening, a compound. Interesting. I didn't need much of this. It was only 50. Right, let that get going. And I only needed 15 of that, so that's done. Easy. That was much quicker. We'll go and do our research. Okay. So we've got sulfur. Coming to here, we've got the hard drive, the compacted coal, we've got the fuel.
Turbofuel unlocked. This upgrade to regular fuel is optimal for fuel-powered generators, jetpacks, and fulfilling long-distance trucker fantasies.
Long-distance trucker fantasies. Okay. Interesting. Right. They're going to come later. Those ones. Yep, that is most definitely not a breach of TOS. That's right. That's health related. Oh, not that one. Did I keep a box of... You can go in here. That one, that one, that one. Pretty sure that's all I need. That can go in here. That's probably full now, yeah. It's full because it's... Yep. And the hard drives. Okay. So let's go, let's have a look. So to make this Turbofuel, I'm going to use 133 fuel. So if I go back to my fuel sheet, this fuel is going to be made, it's the residual fuel recipe, and that's actually going to be from the 200 heavy oil residue is going to come from plastic. I'm going to make 600 crude oil of plastic, and we're going to turn that heavy oil residue into the fuel for the turbo fuel, but also the plastic I'm just going to turn into canisters, and we're going to use them later on in a few different production lines. But for the moment, I'm just going to sink them, and then we'll just use them as we need them. So we need to make 20 refineries making plastic. That's our first task. So our plastic building might get bigger than this munitions building. Alright, so it's going to be in this one here. Now I've already got some refineries here for something else in the future. So we're going to leave those alone. Or do I? I don't know. I can't remember. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I don't. There's 2 down there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are positioned. One, two, three, 4. Basically, it's in the middle of the 4th one. And it's halfway on that one. Yeah, we're going to leave it like that. Alright, so we've got our refineries. It comes in this way. 2. And so this should be there. And that should be there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. Yep. So that's 2. Four. 6. 8. Can I get 10? Oh, I think I can get 10. That's nice. So 2 floors. That's 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just another floor. So we use our this will give us our height. Needs to be that way, like that. me just check I got that correct. Yep, that's it. And then again. Right, so now this is our tallest building. Can I get that? Is that going to that extends it? Yep, 128 meters. Crikey. Did I put? I thought I had the power nipple. No, I didn't. On the previous one, I did. That goes to there. Yeah, there's no extra. Oh yeah, that's right. This will be interesting. I'm gonna try this. Can I grab this? Get in here. Press the button. No, you can't. The hobbyist, do I have the Cybertruck? I have not unlocked it yet. Certainly something we should be doing. Actually, before I do that, also making modular factories before rushing to the next stage really helps. I went to phase 2 yesterday after completing the modular frame factory, and after phase 2 I was able to get coal power immediately because I already had the materials ready thanks to the factories. Now I just got to set up coal power and expand my concrete production. That's it, hobbyist. By doing that initially, you're not manually crafting more things. It's one of the biggest downfalls of rushing to coal power that a lot of people make. That's what we want. That one. So that goes here. And there. My current factory keeps blowing the fuse in my biomass power plant. Can't even sink stuff without blowing a fuse. That is the flip side of it, isn't it? You've got to keep maintaining that biomatter until you get the coal power in and stable. There's pros and cons to everything, isn't there? Speaking of sync, got the priority splitter. It wasn't that tough. Yeah, it's pretty easy early on, isn't it? So we want our refinery, yeah, we want our refinery pole. One there. And one there. Alright, we just got to join these up. Right, and this one. Put that one there. I'm going to make that a 2. And then that can go, I would prefer it to go there. That looks about right. Now, I reckon he... And we'll go... Yep, let's go the next 4 up. I think one of them was missing a power connector back there because there was a bunch of machines with red lights. Is that how I did this one? Yep. Probably it's because he's got no recipes selected. That's what's going on. Right. What are they outputting? Heavy oil residue and crude oil, and they're only bringing in... No, heavy oil residue and plastic, but they're only bringing in crude oil. So I'm going to get rid of all of these. Now, so these are all plastic that make heavy oil residue. So copy. Paste. The pasting bug has definitely disappeared in 1.1. I could not do this in 1.0. Oh, we've got vehicle collision again. We might go and redo a path or two. Because it's going to need to be done. I think I'm at an okay spot here to leave this. Let's go and investigate. And we'll redo one or two vehicle paths. Actually got an idea. I want to make some changes. I want to put some signs on the back of the truck stations. So I'm going to copy them from over on the other one. This one. I think it was there. Or was it there? Go and check. It was there, but it wasn't as close, I don't think. Oh no, that's the spot. Because if it was any closer, it'd... Yeah, no, it's in the right spot. Alright. It's going to paste them all and then go and update them all. Yep, that's the right spot. Okay, so iron ore number 10. This makes it easy for me to see when I'm driving the vehicle. When I bring it in the back, I can see where I've got to go. Right, nearly done. Might do these coal ones first. I reckon they're going to be the better ones to get cleared. Let's take one of these. plonk it down over here. Oh, I bet you this is coal number 1. No. Coal number 1. This one's number 2. Oh, I gotta fix that. Load. These are load locations. The Franken plays. Hello, welcome. How goes it today? Alright, so I've got them all labelled. Meh. Ah, sorry to hear, man. Life's a bit like that sometimes. Alright, we'll start off with this one. Coal number 1. So, it's going to delete the path. This is route number 1 in coal. Alright, so this truck should be right here, and I think coal is, yeah, number, I don't know which one number 1 is. Well, I know it's here. Which one's number 1? Number 1 here, I think. Yep. Although I'm not happy with that. We'll see. We'll watch it on its return journey. Oh geez, nearly got smashed. I was playing an old game. It seems like no matter what I do to the screen settings, I still can't see the effing game because it's so dark. Maybe there's a like an old save of Satisfactory, or just another game, an older game you played before. Oh my god. That is so frustrating. Thought I did the perfect recording of a path then. And that happens. An older game, Lego Batman 2 in the Wii. Right, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's frustrating. It's definitely not fun when you've got a game you can't... It's too dark. I'm trying to think of... That happens to me with... I watch this streamer play Rust. And one of his biggest flaws is that he does a lot of his building at night time. And he doesn't like to have any lights on because it gives away your location and people will come and attack you. So it's like, doesn't make for a good YouTube video. It makes for a great base design. But yeah, I'm always watching his thing and I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. Don't know what you're doing. I love your videos. I love your style. And he even has like, he makes comments sometimes like, the chat will cut me down because I'm doing it in the dark. Alright, let's see how we go. Let's stick a bit wider here. Excellent. We're going to save that as route number 1 coal. Take me for a drive. I want to see what this path recording has turned out to be like. For some reason OBS can see the game perfectly, but I can't, and I'm just over wire. Yeah, right. Alright, so it's supposed to be coming into here. And if he comes in correctly and hits this point, then you shouldn't do any reversing and unreversing. That looks great. Yep, so we're just going to record the other two. We'll do the coals for the moment. Think I can land on this? No. This one's number 2. You're tempted on getting one of those box TVs just to be able to see the game. I mean, that's not as silly as it sounds. You're coming in here, but I just want to see this. That's perfect. Almost. I'm a little bit too close. I reckon I could fix that by getting rid of... If I got rid of this node part here, I reckon that'll fix it. Alright, this is number 2. Are they called box TVs? They're called CRTs, cathode ray tube. There's a, yeah. Apparently there's this really good monitor for like the old 4:3 ratio monitor made for Amigas and all that, and it has all sorts of inputs. It's really good apparently. I lagged a bit for you, sorry about that. The old Starlink cuts out occasionally. They're called cathode ray tube, CRT.
Megan thanks you very much for your resub.
Thank you House of Metza for renewing your tier 1 sub of 40 months. Heyo.
Meza coming with that resub. 40 months, Meza. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for your generosity and support. Always appreciated. I'll give you my full attention after recording this part. You'll stick to saying box TVs? Yeah. Funny to see your rack video. Your rack just arrived yesterday. Oh, Meza. That is so funny. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I've got a new video coming out every second day for about 2 weeks that goes over everything in my setup. Yeah, I wasn't sure how that video would be received because it's not normal type of content. But I also know IT tech is also popular. The ingredients are coming soon. I managed to find an Amazon online UPS for 60% at liquidation company. Nice. That's what you want. Yeah, I was very lucky with my UPS. I've had it. Oh, it would be 15 years old now, I reckon. To be fair, I'm more interested in you than Satisfactory. Why, thank you. Franken, your Twitch account is older than I thought it was. Yeah, right. Did that do a load and unload? Yeah, it must have. That one looked really smooth. I see Dorner parts about to come out, Meza. That's quite exciting. You've had this account since November 2018. Awesome. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come back. No. Screw it. I'll wait for it to come around the next time. Oh dear. Satisfactory. I bought a reasonable UPS, then upgraded the batteries and charging system. Now have a blackout power for PC screens, lights and aircon for about 4 hours. If you kill the aircon, it's closer to 12. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, this is a APC 1500 XL, and you scored it for £600 with new batteries. That's a pretty good deal. Do the faster method, the milliseconds you see your knees jump. Okay, I'll try that next time. Your life has been so hectic lately, I haven't had time to sit down for Dawn Apart, but I am looking forward to it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see how much more optimized it's become with the release. You always squirm, you see big rigs without any power protection. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's just nice having that. Alright, I'm just got to... Okay. What the hell? Why? I don't know what happened there. Alright. Your rack will have a 6-hour blackout protection with a 12-bay NAS included, plus all your home lab equipment. That sounds pretty awesome. Alright. UPS is uninterruptible power supply. It's a battery backup for your computers. So when your power goes out, your everything keeps running, and then it gives you time to shut things down. So the reason they're talking about this is on my YouTube, I've shown my I bought a house 12 months ago, and then I was putting a rack in one of my a computer rack in one of my rooms, and for a server room, and so there's a UPS in there. Satisfactory, I'd be more than happy to meet up and discuss UPS rack things over a beer. About 20 years experience in the data center industry. Nice. And Meza, how are you running drywalls and running cables? Nice. Some extra help there, Meza, is always handy. Okay, so I'm going to delete that path. So now we're going to do route number 3. Having 2 hands when doing data cabling is, wow, it's a godsend. Right. You kept thinking about the package delivery, and I just thought, what does power have to do with UPS? Yeah, no, that's a totally understandable thing to think. with all that whole conversation going on there. Alright. I think we're going to finish up with this one. Good, he didn't ruin it. Thought I was a bit scared he was going to ruin that recording for me. I may have to delete a pause node. You love how chill Louise was with the window situation. Yeah, it was... I think if we were not getting new windows, it might have been a different story. It was pretty funny. Okay, that one. Right, okay. So we're going to save that. I'm going to leave, that's all the recording we're going to redo for today. I'm just going to check that path to make sure I don't need to delete a pause node up here, but they're much neater, those three. We've got more to do later, like that truck that just went through a beam, but I've taken some trucks out of that intersection, and that's going to help with the congestion. Yeah, I was really because I've set up racks in the past before, and a lot of them you can completely dismantle them. And this one was all these little spot welds all over it, and I would have had to cut out, it wouldn't have been a pretty sight if I decided to do that, so taking the window out was the way to go. But Louise is pretty good with those sorts of things. Alright, so we're going to leave those vehicles for the time being. There's none stuck at the moment, and now we need to pipe these up. Franken, thanks very much for clicking the Make It Rain Channel Point Redemption Award. By clicking the Make It Rain Channel Point Redemption Award, you've agreed to donate $69 towards the part-time streamer fund. Simply choose 6,900 bits in chat or make a donation using the links below. Thanks very much for your generosity and support. It really means a lot to me. Most racks can be stripped down. APC, compact, and notorious for spot welds though. Yeah. And Meza, you lived in such a tiny space for the past 15 years that haven't been able to practice any proper kind of DIY. Wouldn't risk a rental's walls with your fumbling. Yep. All right. He's having a bit of trouble down there. That one needs a re-record. Alright, so these are 10. This house was built so recently that they didn't even bother with Ethernet in the walls. It's all supposed to be wireless. Aha. It's not uncommon, Meza. In my last job working in electrical wholesale, we would sell all the bits to the electricians that would fit out brand new houses. And it really surprised me how many houses would get 3 to 5 television aerial points installed and no network cables. But then you get others, you get like 20 network points. That won't help with my requirement of a 10 gig connection between the office and the rack. That's true. All right. I'm going to make a blueprint of let's go up. Ooh, 10 gig over fiber is pretty nice. Yeah, you got that too. Aerial coax everywhere, but no network. So did you buy a house recently, Meza? Or are you renting? Just moved to a new rental. Right, okay, gotcha. Franken plays, do you suggest the biggest trucks only for that? What do you mean, sorry? They won't notice an extra port in the sockets, not at all. I've done that in rentals before, they don't care. What I've been doing in the trucks in Satisfactory? Well, with the trucks, Franken, a lot of people prefer to use trains, and I would agree on that in a lot of the previous playthroughs I've done. But with the 1.0 release, I gave them a go again, a bit of a play, and they are quite reliable. It all comes down to the quality of the path you record. And part of this is a tutorial series showing people that what you can and can't do. So I really wanted to use trucks. I've got, I think, about 16 trucks at the moment. I've got 3 coming from that location, 3 from that location. There's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that location. And then on the other side over there, there's another 4, I think. So yeah, and they're working. But I went and built these light pole towers throughout the city, and like that truck there had to glitch through it because I didn't record the paths properly. Well, now that they're going through these new locations, they're bumping into them some. And there's been an intersection over here where I get a deadlock and I have to go intervene. And all I've got to do is change a couple of the routes and make a bit better, and that deadlock will disappear, I hope. And the other thing too is, it's a city. This is a big city I built, and I've got all these products just moving along on belts, so it looks really cool. when you've got vehicles driving through the city as well. So that's part of it. You can have a look at that link there. It points to my website. There's a link to this playthrough, and it's got some guides I've set myself about how I'm going to do this playthrough. And yeah, so that's sort of why I'm doing that. And also in this location here that we're in, I've only needed to use one train so far to bring crude oil from here up to here. But once we start progressing further on, I'm going to start training stuff in, and that'll be the next phase. And the trains are going to come underneath these buildings. So yeah, it's just different methods I'm trying. So I'm going to load this blueprint. Was that made in... Really? Was it made in a Mark 1? That's interesting. Well, actually, can I? If that's the case... But I can confidently recommend the trucks are worthwhile if you're not rushing your playthrough. If you're rushing through to unlock one thing to the next thing to the next thing, then I don't think you're going to get the benefit of trucks. If you're trying to make it fast to get trains, you may not enjoy the benefits of trucks. If you're going a bit slower like I am in this playthrough, then you might actually get the benefit of the trains and enjoy them. Guys, that's the annoying thing with the blueprint makers. If it was in one, it can fit in two. Other way around, of course not. Yeah, I agree, Gaz. It's a bit odd, but that's the hand we've been dealt. Well, I can make a 3 of this. I think while I'm fiddling around, if I can make a 3. No, it's this way. Then I might make it. Yeah, I think I will. Oh yeah, this one. There. I think it's... Is it noodle or is it horizontal to vertical? I think it's... Oh, you can tell, can't you, if you do that, it says Pipeline Mark 1. It doesn't say. Oh, doesn't matter. So that to there, and then so this finishes in the middle. Which I think is there. Hold on, I know how to tell. So that's 12 meters, then we add another 12 meters. If I put that there, then I can do that to there, and then I'll get rid of that. And then this That's about right. Yep, and that one to there. Alright, I'm going to quickly go for a toilet break. I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, so I'm going to save this. I'll put the these on the back as well. I didn't realise I hadn't made this in this blueprint. I didn't think I was able to fit this in a Mark II, but I'd forgotten I made the other one in a Mark I. But that's good. Now I've got that one. That's going to help me with a couple of things. I'm going to this is going to be refinery by 3. Okay. Refinery. Okay. Now there's two things I want to do here. That's the first thing, is make those. Now the whole point of that was I wanted to try something different with the pipes. I wanted to have some downs. Horsey, a YouTuber, has brought Commodore who remembers the Amiga CD32, which is out before the PS1 and is powerful, but the company went bust due to mismanagement. He got a new Amiga computer to show off soon. I've been watching those videos, Horsey. It's very exciting, isn't it? The offering a licensing program for people making Commodore related goods and be able to actually get official Commodore licensing, and part of bringing that whole community together that's an amazing accomplishment. It's really impressive. I think they'd be really proud to have achieved something like that. Gaz, you're a programmer on a Commodore 64. Holy moly. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm not going to need these for the minute. I need that up there. That's my reference. It needs to be Steam OS compatible to make it mainstream. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. To make if mainstream is definitely the right word to use there. I would agree. So what about wow, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit not what I'm expecting. You wish the bug got me and I kept at it as a very basic program. I do like Amigas. I was very jealous of my mate who had an Amiga and I had a PC. That's terrible. Am I the only one deciding to use these pipeline supports like this? That's is it a blueprint of, it's a blueprinter bug. I bet you that's what it is. No, it's not a blueprinter bug. It's just a normal everyday off the shelf bug. All right, so what if I did your normal run-of-the-mill bug? Banshee Centura. Wow, didn't know I could use them like that. Yeah, so that's what you can do. Banshee is, it's when you build with the pipeline supports. So your first click is your placement. So your first click is your height, but you can also use the scroll wheel. And it's the same with the hypertubes supports. You can do that as well. Yeah, it's a pretty handy little thing. It's popular. Right, let's try this. You knew the height, you just didn't know the direction. Yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those things, and it happens to me quite a bit, is on the screen it says right near me, rotate hologram, scroll up, scroll down. That would, I would prefer, when I see it, when I'm there like that, it says rotate. It should change that text to say pivot hologram or something like that. You stumbled onto that, didn't you? I've played the game since it's for a long time, so I've known about this one for quite a while. Hey, now that's interesting. Okay. But there are a few things like that. Since version 0.1, yeah, horsey. Well, when it first, probably a couple of weeks after it was first released. So straight really isn't doing much for me. Oh, wow, that's terrible. My IDs here are fading fast. Was it on Kickstarter? I don't know, to be honest. I don't think so. The noodle. Yeah. No, I think it was just announced in E3 game convention one year, and then it went early access not long after that. But it started out on Epic. It was exclusive on Epic for a while. Okay, so I'm having some issues with some IDs I wanted to do here. What about... Pipeline junction. So what about if it was there? That's much better. See, that works nicely, but what happens with this one here? Can't really do a straight. I need... Let's change to this one. Can I come down one more? I don't think so. No, so we have to go up one more, I reckon. The annoying thing is once I do this, my horizontal to vertical niceness disappears. Man, why can't they just... Why can't things just be made to work? Alright, I've got a different idea I want to try. So if I had... And you can hold control and then I can do that. So, sorry, I may not be explaining myself very well, but I'm very much a load balance type of person. So I'm trying to work out some ways to do load balancing with pipes that are different to them being horizontal. I'm trying to do it vertical. And by doing that, I'm also wanting to make it symmetrically similar. Which, you know what, that actually... It's still not good though. Oh, I got an idea. That actually might work. What if they were all like that? No. There's a real bug with these pipeline supports. Spongelet, hello, welcome. When you're tilting them, they're not very nice. What about if I did oh, I mean, that looks pretty cool. Okay, so how about what would happen I can't. What I'm trying to do is make a three-way splitter neatly. I'm kind of liking that. But the split, the three-way split is what I'm not sure about. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake in that blueprint. I just got to fix something I forgot about. So we'll load the refinery by 3. I think I left the power. Yeah, this power pole shouldn't be here. Should it be in? Okay, so I've got it there. So what I actually need to do is put another pole there. That's what I'm missing. Talk about getting distracted. That was important. Alright, so I'm going to save that. Oops. You and your friends think we might go back to PS3 as a lot of their games were not played. Yeah, it's good. It's a good system, the PS3. Alright, so with that, what I could do now is so I reckon here, this is where this might work. No, I think I'm going to have to go higher still, but I'm on the right path. I know what I'm doing now. Yeah. I reckon what I've got to do is... I was to put temporarily that to there. I got it just as I decided to change. Then that. You know, when I heard straight pipes were coming, I was excited, but it hasn't been what it's... The promise has not been delivered. I'm sorry to say. It's good in the obvious scenarios, but there's all these other scenarios. Where it's just not cutting the mustard. Horizontal to vertical is okay though. Once I go a bit higher. Alright, there we go. Alright, so to do this, I'm okay with this. I'm going to even put some of that there for support. Like I could hold up. That could be holding it up. Now let's, if this is going to work as a three-way, then this, you bent. There would have been one. I'm going to get rid of that. That. Should have saved this before I started breaking it down. This is our test pipe. split vert by 3. Oh, I'm also missing the other platform up the top as well. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Right, that's what I want to make. That's my blueprint. I wonder if that'll auto-connect. Shaky Biddy, hey yo Smirk, another question. Was watching you earlier working with trucks. How do you have trucks with intersecting paths not crashing with each other? Well, funny you should mention that because they don't. They just crash into each other. Yeah. It's... so they should stop, but there are times when they get too congested and they'll deadlock. But the thing is, apart from the deadlocking issue, if you just turn your back and don't look, it'll just all work as intended. Because they will just automatically connect correct. But the better answer is to define some really clean paths for them to drive on, and also try and limit the amount of vehicles in an intersection if you can. But I've had lots of crashing, everything like that, and it just seems to be running pretty smoothly at the moment. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that. All right, let's... I'm going to go with that as the icon. Pipe. Vert. Split by 3 refinery. Let's do with that. Logistics. Let's try that. Don't forget to shake. This is correct. That's a great mate you've got there. And you're the artist too. Nice. Beautiful. All right. So let's see if this works. All right. I want it to be on this side. Now, these are... Oh, yeah, that's right, that's the output. I want it on the input side. This side, yep. So if I get rid of... those... Oh, I've been making all this on the output side, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I want to see if these will connect. Oh. The only thing is I don't know is where it's supposed to be with the auto connecting, because this pole was my reference on the other side, but I'm thinking it's probably there. I don't know. Nah, well, if I had, because I built this with the lifts in mind of them being there. This is how it was when I built it. No worries, Shaky Beauty, anytime. So if I choose this one again, or did I delete them in the blueprint? I can't remember. I need to load it back up again and have a look. Okay, so in this case, it's just halfway in the middle of that. And that's okay with these, because I'm not wanting them... They're actually not going to go in these. But it is longer looking. So if I went with this, so that would have been, what you reckon, there or there? Hold on. I think it was there. Right. So that can be my 3 and my incoming. That looks all right. Now, I'm going to change it to 2 because this is 10 machines and it evenly splits. But I wanted to test it first with 3, which answered a few questions for me, actually. Doing the 3-way was actually a smart idea. So we're going to keep that one as is. And now we're going to do a 2-way. And this will be what center? Would that be center? I reckon it would be. So if I had that there and I very temporarily did that like that, get rid of that, put this on the top here, get rid of that, and then that would be my two-way. And in the two-way, in the two-way, I'm going to go with from there to there, and get rid of that one, and we'll just save that as vert by 2, and then I'm going to go with, now that I've saved that, I'm going to dismantle the rest. I'm going to go with that. Okay, so this one, oh, hold on, I wish I could copy and paste the text in these. Pipe vert split X3 refinery. Pipe vert split. So if I did X3 refinery, that's correct, and I'll change that to X2, and I'm going to put that as the icon and put this here. Okay, so now I'm going to start down here. I'm actually going to get rid of all of those and all of those. I want the 2. I think my beam alignment is off with, it's not a big deal, we'll deal with that later, but that's correct. Whoa. Yeah, my beam alignment is off. Kind of. It's not a big deal. I would put... Because this is beam aligned for the other side. But all I need to do is put that there. And that should go... And this one just goes all the way to here. Alright, so that's looking okay for the moment. So then, now that I've got 5, I'm going to do a join of these two. And this is kind of just going to have to be... I wonder if this would connect. Would these connect in a blueprint if I did... I don't think I can make a blueprint wide enough, could I? If there was... I might go with that one. Why do they have the... That's the hypertube entrance. Why would they have that? Alright, so that's... From that hole to that hole, there is 13. 13 of those. I'm going to just do that. And I want to go with if I build one of these, where is it? This one here. If I build that there, want to put that directly underneath. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that to there like so. That gets my alignment. Then the is this the one? Yeah, I think that's the one. Alright, just using this for some height. Help me out and stuff. I reckon that oh wow, you can put that there. So I reckon make sure this is correct. Yep, so that's correct. So a split between the two of these in the middle of these two. Another one would go, what's the shortest distance I can go? Can you come down one? I might go up. Right, so that... So if I went from here horizontally across, then you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be the middle here. So that there. So that there. So the horizontal to vertical there is not tall enough. So let's try it from that spot. Okay, so there. Now, if that was here, would I have... I'm not going to worry about beams right now. I'm just going to save this. We'll make a 3x, a triple X. Guys, glad some mods are working. Can finally nudge in small increments up and down. Need because of the wayward blueprints you made. Yeah, right, guys. I get you. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of... Alright, we're going to save that. So this is going to be pipe. Let's split for 2 pairs of refineries. Infinite nudge, infinite zoop, technical infinite, and the time adjustment thingy mod for daylight and lengths and weather. Yeah, that's a good one. I wouldn't mind having a go at that one at some point. Logistics. I'm going to put that there. I could have built everything by now, but I'm going to be doing a few of these at some point, I think. So I'd prefer to spend a bit of time seeing if I can do it. Because then I'll just be able to use it again and again. So what I need to do is it looks like I'm just going to go for a quick break. I'll be back in a sec. Guys, catch you next stream. No worries. Again, nice waiting room. Thank you. So for the blueprints, so I think I understand it now. The blueprints, I don't think it's going to let me connect them this way. It's not designed for vertical connecting, maybe. I can still use it for the position of that. And then it's not what I anticipated, but hold on. No. We actually got some. So how did how is that happening? Oh no, that's connecting to above, I reckon. No. No, I'm definitely getting a connection down to here. What is it that's allowing? What am I supposed to be looking at with my cursor? Okay, so when I'm there, what is it? This is great news. That's really good news. I still need a micro nudge, and I'm not on the correct one, but this is good news. And you know what's more interesting? you go. You can't go too close. Oh, but my nudging. It's not properly aligned. I would like to know what it is that caused that to work. Okay, so just having it, so being, so having it vertically, the only issue I have here is, oh no, it's not perfect. Although I don't reckon anyone would see. Well, you know, I think people are going to see that. I think I can definitely see that's not working. But there's something not right with like if I get it what I think is correct, I still need to get it left. So it's the correct width. That's the spot there. No, it's not. It's just not. So I can get it to there. We've got the link icons. They disappear there. Okay. So that means for me to use this, I'm going to have it taller than what I wanted. Oh no. Once I go that height, but it's no longer aligned, and I don't like that. Whereas if I just if I free place it, which now that I understand this kind of, oh, is it? I can use that to help me align it. What's interesting is this one's not aligned either. Why isn't anything simple? What about, maybe I'm overthinking this. The real way to do it would be just to eyeball it like this. Wherever the center would be of these two, which would be in the center of that pipe there, that's a much better solution. Yeah, I overthought it. This is much quicker. And then technically, this one, I mean, I would love to get this one to reach that one. How do I get that? Is that the same? Yep. That's probably the easiest way. So then I would place maybe there. Yeah. Alright. You know what? A lot of fiddling around, but we actually did get to something I'm happy with. Now, well, no, I'm not happy with that, actually. We're close. Now I'm too much the other way. Can you do half walls? Yep. I think I know what my conundrum is. And it is it's these freaking the wall supports. I can guarantee you that's what's causing a lot of my issues. Because they are not they're on a different alignment to the everything else and a different alignment measurement. See, that's fixed it. That's got what I wanted. I definitely haven't come up with something simple. But it is mostly load balancing. So if I just... I'll tell you what, I'm going to build the other one down below. And then we'll probably wrap upstream because I've got work tomorrow. But I know how to build... I know how to quickly place this. So first thing, we'll get rid of these. And then we'll get rid of all these. Then I'll put this here. I'll get this. The splitter bit front facing the machine actually worked pretty good. This one. This one worked. This one I was somewhat impressed with. Alright, so that goes to there. I'm onto something with this, but I'd like it to be... I don't know, there's just something not right about it. No, hold on. I'm supposed to be using the doubles, not the triples. This one. Do I get rid of the beam connectors? Yes, I do. And I'll put... actually. I don't need to redo the whole lot. Just need to put the connectors on. And then for the next ones up, how did I put, I connected them, that's right. I did this. And then for this one, all I did was go up like this, and we put that's all it needed to be. Right. No. Why is one higher than the other? No, it needs to go one higher. I'm pretty sure. That's it. That's what just needed to be that one more higher. We're going to... I'm going to deal with this. That's as much as I'm going to build for today. We're making a good start. This is all to make plastic. Thinking about doing something, but not sure yet. I reckon that's all right. I could have done this another way. But I don't know. I'm happy with it, but it's not something I would repeat, I don't think. Alright, how many coupons today? 4. Makes sense. Alright, so I'm just quickly, we just redid the okay. That's definitely taller now. Great episode. We made a start on the Turbofuel, which was, well, we built 20 refineries for the placement of the Turbofuel to make the plastic that will make the heavy oil residue that will then turn into fuel, which will then be used for Turbofuel. We played around some vertical splitting for the incoming crude oil. I wanted to try something different there. And we came up with something, we tried some blueprints that sort of worked, it sort of didn't. It was interesting. But we also re-recorded some of the truck routes for the coal. We're trying to clear up that intersection and make it nicer. It did help, I think. We'll just keep doing a few of those every episode, and we'll just clear it up more and more as we go. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.